you're struggling to lose body fat, or if you do lose it, you struggle to keep it off, I'm going to show you the steps that I took to lose 30 pounds for a photo shoot, and then almost a year later still be in the same sort of position despite living a normal life. So let's break it down. Let's look at how to get lean and actually stay lean. And it's a 3-phase plan. So there's 3 parts to this, and not very many people see through all 3 parts. So about 95% of people who lose body fat initially go on to regain it within about 3 months. Now, I don't know the actual numbers, I don't know the stats. All I know is that it's pretty high. You've probably been guilty of it yourself in the past. We've all been there. You've worked hard, you've lost weight during a diet, you've gone back to normal life, and then you've just regained everything. And if not, sometimes a little bit more as well. But the question is why? Why does that actually happen? Now, it's because within these 3 phases, everybody knows phase number 1. Everyone knows the cut, the deficit, the losing the weight, and everyone does it. It's the other 2 phases that people don't do, which result in the initial phase being pretty much pointless. Like I said, it's so frustrating when you achieve the result, you drop the body fat, and then you regain it. So this plan here will take you through all 3 steps that are required to get the job done, but then keep it, sustain the progress, maintain what you've worked hard to achieve, and set yourself up for a fruitful life, let's say. Because that's truthfully what it is. Imagine breaking free of a dieting cycle that you've been caught in for years. It's nice, it's revitalizing. So let's dive deeper into phase number 1. Let's look at the cut. It needs to be a dedicated block of time. It needs to be a time where you are trying really hard to get the result. The next 2 things that happen only happen if you achieve the result in the first place and you achieve buy-in. Buy-in basically being you've got like the proof of concept. You've got the proof that it works. You're now like heavily invested, right? I want to do whatever it takes now to keep hold of this progress. If you half-heart the diet section and there's not really much going on and you're losing, you're regaining, you're not really getting anywhere, the next phase 2 and phase 3 become pointless because you've not got the buy-in from phase 1. So it's got to be a dedicated block. And that's just what I've just said. If it's half-arsed, you will not get anything out the following 2. Now, I lost over 30 pounds during my previous photo shoot diet, which was last year, and it was hard. That was a hard period of time. It was about 12 weeks long. It started off like any normal diet where it's fairly, I wouldn't say gradual, but it started off where I went into it, hunger wasn't too high, food focus wasn't too high, but as I got deeper into it, of course, naturally, it got harder. And by the end of it, I was ready for it to be done and finished with. The steps for a successful diet is to allow anywhere from 8 weeks to 20 weeks to get the job done. Now, if you're not where you need to be by the end of that diet, you just need to go again. Don't feel as though you've got to cram all of the progress into one short little phase. If you've got more to lose, you've got more to lose. And that's the bottom line. If you're not happy where you are at the end of the first phase of your diet, you've got to do it again. Otherwise, you'll never be happy. And if you think that's got to be done inside 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 20 weeks, and then once that time frame comes to an end, you're done, but you're not happy, you've wasted your time again, really, because you're going to come out of that diet, think, oh yeah, I'm done now, I finished it, and then regain from a position where you're already not happy. So you're not going to be happy after you've come out of it. Do you know what I mean? So don't cram it and run it again until you are at a point where you feel quite happy. And if you do go through that period where you do have to go again, separate your dieting phases with like a 2 to 4 week maintenance phase. So give yourself time to have more food, reset mentally, reset physically, and then go again into your next diet. Don't think, right, I'm at week 20, I'm still not happy, let's now go for another 20 weeks. Because believe me, even if you feel good in that moment, you're a human being. Believe me, we only have like a very limited amount of brain power to sustain a diet for a long period of time because it's not a fun period to be in. So give yourself a fighting chance by separating it and just allowing yourself to rejuvenate, recharge the batteries, and then go again. Which then sets us up nicely for phase number 2. Now, this is where most people skip. Or to be fair, probably not skip, they don't really know about it. So let's look at the bridge. The bridge is, like I said, the thing that connects end of diet, end of initial result achieved, to now going back into a maintenance phase and wanting to enjoy more normal life stuff without ruining what you've just achieved in X amount of time. If you skip this, you'll run the risk of regaining everything that you've worked so hard to achieve once you go back to, again, quote unquote, normal life. When you stop being in that like really restrictive diet period and you want to enjoy a bit more of what life has to offer. If you skip this bridge section, I'm sorry, but you've probably just wasted months and months, because you're going to regain the body fat. Hence, months of hard work pissed away in what feels like weeks sometimes. So this is basically what I sort of went through myself after my photo shoot last year. So at the end of my photo shoot, I was on about 1,500 calories, so life was pretty shit. Couldn't really enjoy anything on that because you've got pittance to work with. But then by the end of my bridge phase, I went on holiday on the 5th of November last year, and my calories went from about 1,500 to about 3,000, and that was my end of my diet. That was before holiday. Now, in that time period, because I went through the bridge effectively and properly, I weighed about 165.2 around on my photo shoot day, and I went away at about 166.6, 666, the devil's number. So within that time period, about a pound of scale weight increased, but my calories literally doubled. I went from 1,500 to 3,000, so I doubled my food in that time period while still staying the same on the scales. Felt fuller, felt stronger, enjoying training, enjoying life, progress not ruined. And that is because I built the bridge. Now, how to build the bridge? Wherever your calories are when you finish your diet, I would recommend to immediately bump up by about 300. So for me, to put it into perspective, there goes my dogs now as well. This is good. I'm going to let them finish. So to put it into perspective for me, from my experience, I went from 1,500 at the end of the photo shoot. From there, immediately I went into 1,800 calories the following week, pretty much straight away. So that initial bump up, again, it doesn't feel drastic, but 300 calories when you've been dieting for so long it's quite a nice amount of food. It's like an extra snack or an extra bit of potato in your meal. So immediately bump up by that 300. Then from there, spend a week or so and just monitor your body weight. Now here, you shouldn't really notice anything change too much because you're probably still going to be in a small deficit. So you might notice that scale weight will either drop a little bit or it might just sort of hover around the same. And if that does hover around the same, you can then bump up some more. So literally another 100 calories per day for another week, and monitor your body weight and just sort of ensure that nothing crazy happens in terms of like a massive scale weight spike. So you want to try and keep it pretty level. You might notice a little bit of a rise because there's obviously more food going in and more carbs, more water retention, but as long as there's no drastic bump up, you're good to go. And then you literally just rinse and repeat until you notice that you have like really stabilized and nothing's really moving too much now. Or you do notice a little bit of a climbing scale. So obviously for me, I went from 165 to about 166, but I still kept bumping by about 100 per week, and I stayed at that 166 region. And I did that over the course of 8 weeks. And I got to a point where I went from 1,500 to 3,000, and that's where I kind of noticed, right, here's where I now feel, I feel pretty good. I don't really feel like I need more food, and I'm stable. My body weight's holding in the right place. And that's where I just stayed. So if you go through that period properly, you will build that bridge. And imagine going from 1,500 to 3,000 and staying the same. The quality of life increases because you can eat more food, you can do more things, and you still hold on to the same progress that you made during that diet. And that is where you can officially say, congratulations, you have completed the step that breaks that forever dieting cycle. The cycle where people get caught in where they're forever losing and regaining the same 10, 15, 20 pound. By doing this, you have now broken that cycle. And you could say forever, if done correctly, which then brings us now on to phase number 3, which we call the fork in the road. Now, the fork in the road is effectively where you get choice. Most people will never experience this because they don't even go through phase 2, never mind unlock the ability to get to phase 3, where you can choose what to do next. So let's say you're free. You're free from you're not now having to, people diet because they feel like they need to diet. When you get to a point where you're uncomfortable in your own skin and you think, right, I want to drop some body fat and get leaner, that's a choice made for you 9 times out of 10. Sometimes you want to do it for wanting to do it, but 9 times out of 10, you don't feel good. Whereas when you come to the fork in the road, you feel good. So you don't necessarily need to chase anything. So you've got a choice now, really, whether you want to just sort of maintain and stay where you are, or whether you want to go through like a bulking phase and build some muscle. You've got the choice of what you want to do. So again, for me, I went on holiday, November, maintained my condition from photo shoot weight and position, felt really good. And then obviously come back, it was December time, winter time, so it's a busy month anyway with the festivities. Christmas happened, New Year happened. So I decided, right, you know what, I want to go through this period just feeling okay, feeling good. And that was the case for me up until literally about a month ago. So I've maintained through all the business of winter and Christmas and all the festivities where you're drinking a lot more, you're eating a lot more. I maintained through all that period. I've maintained all the way through the start of the year. I went away a month ago, and that is where I finally got to a point where I thought, right, I feel like I want to now get back into something and chase something down. But that was like a choice that I made for the previous 5 months just to just feel good and just to coast. I've not come through Christmas time and thought, oh my God, I feel horrendous, new year, new me, new diet. I've just been enjoying life, enjoying training, enjoying running, just enjoying different things without feeling like I need to drop body fat. There you go. There's your 3 phases. If you follow those 3 steps, you will be sound, you'll be sorted for the rest of your life. Now, I understand as well that obviously it's hard to get the ball rolling sometimes, so I've got you covered. In the link down below, you've got access to 4 weeks of free coaching. It's called Trim the Fluff. It's a little program that I put together to basically just get you over the hump, get things moving in the first place, to get that initial buy-in that I spoke about at the start of the video, and that's free down below. I've also linked my Instagram down there, so you could just click on that and send me a DM if you have any questions. Please subscribe, share, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.